To most people, single malt whiskey often means single malt Scotch whiskey. With its numerous regions producing some storied drams, single malts from Scotland represent the gold standard among whiskies. But Scottish single malts are not the only game in town, nor is it Japanese single malts or Indian. Over the last 15 years or so, numerous countries have been producing single malts, some of which are every bit as characterful as Scottish whiskies. The new World Whisky category, pioneered by the likes of Penderyn from Wales, Amrut Distilleries and Taiwan's Kavalan, has broadened considerably over the years. Single malts are now produced in, among others, America, South Africa, Australia, China and England. In fact, an English whiskey, the English Sherry Cask, was adjudged the world's best single malt at the World Whiskies Awards earlier this year. The unpeated whiskey is made in Norfolk at English Distillery, which was founded in 2006. The Lakes Distillery in Cumbria is another noteworthy English whiskey distillery. Its award-winning Reserve No. 4 is rated among the world's best sherry-matured whiskies. Across the Atlantic, America has over 100 single malt producers who are now urging authorities to standardize the category. American single malt is among the fastest growing categories of American whiskey. American single malt is produced across the states, from Denver to California to New Mexico, which is where the Santa Fe Colcagen single malt whiskey is distilled. Instead of peat, Santa Fe smokes their malt with mesquite, a shrub native to southwestern US and Mexico. Even Tennessee Icon Jack Daniel's has its own single malt. Launched late last year, it is made from 100% malted barley and matured in new charred American oak barrels before being finished in Oloroso sherry casks. The global whiskey market is expected to be worth $109.8 billion by 2032, and whiskies at the premium end of the market are among the factors driving that growth. Most New World whiskies operate in the premium and above segment globally. Experts say that New World Whisky distilleries are innovating with local materials and conditions.
I think so. Innovation is almost like a mandate for these New World Whiskies, because they have to establish themselves in the world market, saying that what's their proposition which is beyond what the existing distilleries have at the moment. Some of them may be a little more subtle compared to other examples that we have taken, but then uniqueness, I guess, will come from that innovation statement that they make, saying that, okay, this is how we are different in terms of our production cycles, in terms of, let's say, the fermentation, length, what's the duration of fermentation that we are going to have, what's the wood that we are going to use, where are we going to mature. Everyone has got a very unique proposition.
Swedish distillery McMara's offerings are highly regarded. McMara ages its spirits in local oak, while in neighbouring Finland, Tiidenpeli makes fine Nordic single malt entirely from Finnish malted barley. In Australia, which began its single malt journey in the 1990s with Luck and Sullivan's Cove, New World distillers are crafting a distinctly Australian style with the use of native timber casks and wood to smoke their grain. Meanwhile, the Chinese, who are big on baijiu, are getting curious about whiskey. China has about 30 distilleries, many of which are still being built. These include Nine Rivers in Fujian, crowdfunded by over 100 whiskey lovers from around the world, and Dexy, which is owned by Grace Vineyard, the country's leading winery. Last year, Golong from Hunan became the first Chinese single malt to be available outside the country. Golong offers a duo of single malts, one matured in ex-bourbon casks and the other in ex-bourbon and ex-brandy casks.